Mm. All right. Welcome back to the Dead Effort Show. Frank is not here, he's asleep. But it's me and Manuel Martinez.
This guy.
he, I feel very special. He was telling me he took a shower for this episode. So,
Yeah, is my Sunday shower, my weekly shower.
yeah, whether you need it or
You
not.
timed it perfectly.
Oh, so I've known you for God. How long ago
I was
was?
doing the math on this. Uh, I met you at Ape in 2009.
Oh my God. Yeah, I still can't do
Yeah,
math. That's a long time ago, though.
yeah, you had a whole gang of people together. Yeah, that was 17 years ago officially.
Wow, man, I feel like you didn't even have a kid yet. Like,
I
how?
didn't.
Yeah, because I remember you were like, "Oh, we're gonna have a kid," and I was like, "Oh man, that's terrifying." And now we both have two kids.
Like fuck. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I still can't
yeah.
believe they let me be in charge of other people's lives. It's
Other
insane.
small humans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know we were
just got to
riding.
get him to 18.
Right. I looked at my oldest is 16 and we were going somewhere and I just looked at her and I was like, you know, I have no idea what we're doing, right? Like I don't know, your mom doesn't know. We're just kind of winging it and hoping it turns out okay.
That's
Oh.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so God, you've been doing stuff nonstop for like the past 17 years. I disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, those first few years were kind of, I mean, it was a pretty steep learning curve, and I, man, I can't tell you how many of those first like 3 or 4 years felt like constant failure.
I mean, in some ways, it's always constant failure, and then every
Yeah.
now and then you get like the little sun ray that shines down on you, and you're like, something worked out today.
Yeah. I mean, well, in that look, there was no bigger fail than that first con I met you at. I had nothing to sell. I didn't plan far enough ahead. I'm at an event where people are like selling all this really, I mean, it was Ape, right? So the
Yeah,
Alternative Press Expo. People are selling all these really beautiful artisan kind of things from like well printed comics to like one offs of stuff. And I should open that portfolio and some flyers. It was like, hey, everybody, this is me.
yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
I'm like,
the thing is, at least you showed up. I mean, imagine how many people have like thought about it and never done anything. You know, you
yeah,
gotta you
that's
gotta
fair.
start somewhere, and we all start at the same level. It's all terrible.
Yeah. I
So
give that advice a lot to young people trying to get in, especially when they see you at big cons. I'm like, hey, start with the smaller local cons. Like,
yeah,
just get your ass in a seat somewhere. Um, the learning curve isn't as steep. It'll give you like perspective on how you'll do or what you need to change or how you, shit, even how to talk to people. There's people that are like spend all this time by themselves and they're like, oh, now I got to talk to someone from across the table for a whole weekend.
yeah, yeah. That's me.
Yeah.
Or I talk to people and they're like completely put off and like, I'm gonna put this back, and they scurry away, never to return. Um,
Well, those
that
are
is,
my
isn't
people.
that wild though? You look back and you're like, oh man, I started like, and I just had my portfolio and some flyers, and now people are coming up to you and being like, hey man, how do you do this? I want to do this. How do you do
Right? And that that sense of authority you have behind the table. It's like being a bartender.
it? It's like parenting though. We still have no idea what we're doing. We just
Right,
show up
right.
and we're like, hey, yeah, do you like this? No, all right, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you have you done conventions outside of like the West Coast? Have you gone to the East or?
I've had in the last few years. I did Orlando, I did MegaCon, I did New York. I haven't done anything in the middle yet.
Yeah.
A little afraid of the middle, but I haven't done anything in the middle. But I went up and down the West Coast too. Do SoCal and in Seattle. I'm hoping I'm on a wait list for Portland for Rose City,
Oh, okay.
so that would be nice. But yeah, I jump around. Some years I do more cons than others. The East Coast cons are great, but it's tough being gone for a week and breaking even.
Yeah, yeah. I just did Heroes
Yeah.
Con, and it's there's no way to break even. Like flying out there from California, staying for 4 or 5 days, and food and all that. It's just
Yeah.
it's a pipe dream. But you know, you go out there to meet people and hang out with other people that you know kind of draw. Because I mean, where we're from, what there's a lot of this that make comics, but none of us ever hang out.
Right, right. There's a lot of working class artists in the area, but we don't have like a drink and draw or anything when we're out just casually hanging out.
Yeah, I mean, there was a drink and draw for a while, and then I know John tried to bring it back, and I showed up once, and it was me and two random dudes, and they were just talking. And I was like the third wheel, sitting there like I was on a date. Like, what are you guys talking about? And then I just didn't want to leave immediately, so I just kind of snuck out the side door because I was like, this isn't gonna go well.
Oh, that's too funny.
Oh
Nah.
man. Um, so have you've been doing a bunch of you do a lot of pinups and commissions and things like that. Have you thought about doing a book, putting it all together into one physical thing to sell everything all at once?
Yeah, I definitely have, and I've started. I've started. I've got a preview of a project called Red Tape going on right now. Um, Man, it's hard putting together a book by yourself,
In what
but
ways?
it's just time.
I mean,
It just time. That's it. It's not even so much the story or getting all that. It's just finding the time to put together. Like I'm not gonna get like a floppy release in the shops on a regular basis. I can't create a book by myself monthly,
yeah. I mean,
right?
you'd have to be a maniac to be able to do that. Like,
Right,
that's a
right.
special kind of person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd have to ignore everyone else in my life,
Yeah.
um, and uh, so I'm hoping to get something done on the regular over the next year. But I've got that going. After enough cons, people are like, "Why don't you have a book? Where else can I buy your art besides conventions?" And I'm like, "Oh, gotcha. I should put together my book." Um, so I've got that working. I'm hoping to eventually collect it as a graphic novel. So it's a few years down the road. But in between, getting out an issue or two a year would be great, and maybe even releasing some of it online, which is always a fear, right? Like, oh, it's online, no one will buy the physical copy. But over the years, I've figured that I've seen plenty of examples where that's not true. So,
Yeah, I think even if you put it online, somebody sees it and then they meet you in person, they're like, "Oh, I can have this now," because there's just this tactile thing that's missing from digital comics. No
yeah,
matter if they make the fake page turn on iPad or whatever, it's not the same.
right, right.
And
There's still that collector's mentality that people have, right?
yeah, and then you get the people that just like they want to support you doing your thing over Disney putting out something that ties into some movie or show that they have that nobody ever cared about.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing too is once it's out, I like to. This feels like such a dated reference, but I'll make it anyway. Give them the DVD extras, right? Like we bought physical media. We'd buy these old DVDs because they came with like the making of or all these extra stuff in the back, or like the special features disc. So eventually, when it's all collected, you'll get maybe script breakdowns. You'll get sketches and concept art in the back. You'll get my mistakes and my successes, if you will, all in the back.
Well, I think all those things that we used to get in trade paperbacks or even in Wizard, where it's like pencils of somebody making something, I find like I used to copy that stuff like nonstop, just trying to get better and figure out how they do things. And now with people doing it on, you know, everything's digital, everything's on Instagram. I don't know if there's that, you know, that thing that you have where you're just like, I
Yeah,
just want to
yeah.
sit here and look at this one drawing for because you can get all the drawings and all the things. So it's like, you know,
Right,
that
right. I I think I tend to hold those back, but I know they exist, right? Even I've done so much of my work is digital, and to be fair, the entirety of this book will probably consist of most like 80% of it being digital, but I will do some traditional pages. But what I'm getting at is that even though the final file will be like a complete page, I always save my sketches.
Yeah.
Like every file I have, every page it's its own final version of that page. On that page, I always save my preliminary pencils or any edits I made. I keep it in one place so I know where to find it.
Do you save them on the actual file that you save, or do you save them
Yeah.
separate as a
Yep.
JPEG?
I make a folder that says reference or sketches or original sketches, and it's always at the bottom of my layered file. And if I need to go there, that's where they live. Make
Yeah.
it's just easy for someone visual to
Yeah.
find it, right? You know that page exists, and beneath that page, it's like if you saw the actual finished ink page, and you go, oh, if I flip it over on the back are the sketches where I was working things out. So I
Yeah.
try to think of it that way.
I don't have as clean a style with as you do when it comes to sketches. Like mine are just like scribbles and scribbles and scribbles on
So
top
what?
of like different
Keep
layers.
those.
It's such a
Yeah, yeah.
disaster. I think I've posted some of them, and those are like, it looks kind of clean, but that's number 43 before it gets to something someone can recognize.
Right, but no one needs to know that. I mean, except that you told them now, but no one really needs to know that, right? Like they're like it's that thing where like whoever comes up and gets that thing, that art of yours, that book, or picks up a sketch or final drawing of yours, eh, they just appreciate that thing they have in front of them.
Yeah, the
You
final.
might have like this whole like you know figuring out how you pull a rabbit out of the hat thing going on in your head, but they're just excited to see the rabbit come out of the hat, and like there it is. Like it doesn't matter that you practiced or 50 hours to get that one trick done. They just want to see the sketches in the final page. Like those two things are worth so much to people. I've watched it bring people joy and be excited about
Yeah, I haven't brought anyone joy yet, but one day.
it.
I'm hoping my wife.
Still hoping.
Yeah, I'm holding out hope. We hit 10 years later.
No, but yeah, so I keep all that separate, but I'm excited to, when they put that all in the book. And in the meantime, if like I'm trying to get a sketchbook done, those are things I'm going to put in my sketchbook.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Have you thought about putting all the pinup work and stuff you've done together in like a like nice formatted kind of book to sell? You know, one of those like
yeah,
40, $60 things.
really get that money out. I have, but I always think of running like a limited run of those things, mainly because like when you travel, books are heavy.
Oh, I know.
Man, books are heavy if you're going to travel to another state or something. It's cool if it's close enough to drive, but if you got to get a suitcase on a plane, you're just like, damn, you know.
Well, and there's nothing sadder than packing up 90% of all the books that you brought with you to take back home. That's what I did. That's what I did at Heroes. I was like, I'm just gonna take all this back home, put it right back where it was. I took it on a long trip around the United
Right.
States.
Start giving them
Oh,
away.
oh yeah. I tried to give a lot of it away, and now I'm like to the point where I'm like starting to run out of copies, and I don't want to print more because it's like hard enough to move stuff right now. I don't know. Yeah. What were the last couple cons that you've done? Because I was at the Lodi, I don't know, spring or something.
Lodi, that was Mother's Day weekend. Yeah, I didn't do that
Yeah.
one. Um, the last the last con I did, I think, might have been WonderCon in Anaheim.
How is it in
I had like
Anaheim?
I had like a stretch of like 4 or 5 cons in a row. I usually at the beginning of my year starts that way. Then I get a nice break until summer hits. Then it's Stockton for me. Stockton, San Diego Comic Con. I'm 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 in for Cape and Cowl Con in August,
Oh, okay.
and then, like I said, I'm on the wait list for Rose City. So, and I'm not doing LA Con this year because that one is the that one's hit or miss. That's feast or famine. I can't figure out I like on.
I find like most of these things that I've done are feast or famine. The things I always think are gonna sell are not the things that sell, and then random like I don't ever sell any of those wrestling books, and then the last two cons I've sold a bunch of them and no comic books. It's crazy. Like I can never
Yeah.
gauge what people want.
Where did you sell a bunch of the wrestling books?
At Heroes Con in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I thought I was gonna sell comics because everybody's there for comics, and every comic artist you've ever seen is there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like random people that were wrestling fans, and they were like buying the wrestling stuff, and nobody wanted to buy comics. But
Oh.
I think it's a weird thing with the way that my covers, and like it's a square format, so it doesn't automatically scream it's a comic book. So um, it might be something in my presentation that I haven't figured out. But you know,
Gotcha.
one of these days I'll make a regular sized comic book. But that day
Right
isn't
on.
anytime
Yeah, I
soon.
always like. Are you doing Stockton Con again? Because Stockton always has like a massive amount of wrestling fans. And I thought, oh, for sure, that's where you sold all the wrestling stuff.
No, I did I tell you we didn't talk after Stockton Con, did we?
We know we didn't get a chance to really.
Oh my god, it went so poorly on Sunday. Like I don't think I've seen a con go worse for a group of people in the same area. It was like to the point where it was like we were all just standing around laughing like this is insane. Cuz like we're in that back corner. Like you were
Yeah, I was in the
half an
front.
aisle in front of us, and about where you were is where people turned and like went the other way. And then
Yeah.
um because it was just like a dark corner. There were no kind of lightings. There was a weird pinch point where if one person stopped at any of the like last three or four tables, people just wanted to get around and get by.
Yeah.
So nobody
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah.
And I think the first day I'd made $80, and what was parking like $20 a day, so minus 40. Sunday I made $0. So I made $40 in 2 days, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is insane. And I think it's the Stockton is where they had the convention. It's just not near anything. Like I don't know. You go out there for that, and then if you wanted to go get something to eat, you got to go far away. And then what's the point in coming back if you've already been
Yeah.
there?
I think winter's always hit or miss for Stockton. It's not as consistent as summer Stockton. But people go out there. It's one of those like I know a lot of people end up there at the convention because they're not excited to go too far or too close to the Bay Area for a convention. So this makes it easy.
Mm.
So I get pretty I get a pretty consistent group of folks showing up there who see me there on the regular. Um, but that location isn't particularly beneficial for anybody, especially when you go back. Like you said, when you get to the front of that row, you look back and it just looks dark, and you go, "Well, is there even an exit in that direction?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So,
and I didn't know there was stuff on the outside of the arena, and then I couldn't figure out how to get to the top, like little ledge thing, and I was confused, and I'm like, man, people who come here must be like, where are we going? Like, I, I just, it's a weird layout and a weird place for a convention.
yeah. No, those regulars know where they're going, man. There's like you're the new guy there
Yeah,
right
me and everybody else in the corner, in the
now.
in the
Yeah,
dark
yeah,
alley.
yeah. That's what that felt like.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've never seen more Funko Pops in my entire life than at Stockton and Lodi Con. It was insane. I was by Funko Island at the Lodi Con, but that one was actually like that was pretty fun. Like Saturday was hit or miss, and then Sunday like the families came out, and wrestling's a big hit there. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, and I got to talk to a lot of people, and it was like um just a better experience than the Stockton one for me.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of Load Icon. I did it once right when we were coming out of COVID, and it was gangbusters. It was like everyone had their penny saved. Everyone was ready to spend a bunch of money, and then it's I don't think I've had it be that same way ever again.
Yeah, I've seen from what people have posted online that the people that started after COVID, they thought that COVID money coming out and everybody was like, we're outside now. We got tons of money that to spend. Like that ship
Yeah,
has
yeah.
sailed. But they thought that was how it was forever. And
Oh,
I was like, no, I've never heard of anybody making
yeah.
$15,000 selling keychains and 11 by 17 Staples prints or whatever. Like that's crazy. But
That
like,
lasted about a year.
yeah, I think it was like a year or two, and then like it's just been tailing off ever since.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of these like people that show at anime cons and stuff. They're just like on YouTube complaining about they didn't make as much as they did last year and the year before, or they didn't make as much. It's like, yeah, what did you expect? The only person that's getting rich is the guy putting selling you the table.
Yeah. Or at that point, you've got to be a name, right? You've got to be a guest or a name in the industry where people are looking for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah, and
know, and that's where they're going to spend their money. I remember doing Orlando, and Saturday died off massively for the average vendor, unless you were a pretty big name in the comic world. But for the average vendor, it disappeared. Like it was like the tsunami of people. Like the water just went out and the rows were empty. But that's because everyone was in line for signatures.
mm,
Everyone wanted a chance to meet, Todd McFarlane. Everyone wanted a chance to get some Power Ranger signature or some other actor or actress, um, take a photo with them. So that part of the con was just jam packed. So the population was there. There was a ton of people, but holy smokes, it just disappeared on the floor for your average artist, average vendor. And then Sunday came around, and Sunday didn't quite make up for Saturday. It's hard to lose a whole day and have another day make up for that,
yeah,
but it did pretty good. Sunday and Friday were kind of like the average, what you would expect out of a con that way. But man, if Saturday had been anything, if we'd sold anything, it would have been a really great convention. But Saturday just phew,
just torpedo.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I find like especially like some of these cons that are like smaller or mid-size, it's like you get the one person that everybody's coming to get the autograph from, and then it's dead. Like the Lodi Con, I think everybody was in line to meet the guy who did SpongeBob's voice or something like that. And
Oh
then
yeah.
he was only there Saturday, and so Sunday it was like, you just see everybody standing by their tables, like nobody's here, nobody. And then I saw the Yo Gabba Gabba guy just walking around in full like orange jumpsuit, and he was just wandering
Yeah.
around like looking at people's stuff, like staring at swords and things like that. And I was like, this is a bizarre world that we live in.
Right.
But yeah, Heroes was the same thing. You had the Ultimate Batman team. They were there, and there was lines like
Oh, cool.
hundreds of people deep. Like the colorist Mike Spicer, he had
Uh-huh.
a line like a couple hundred people deep, and I was like, "This is crazy." Like I don't know what I have to do. Can I erase blue lines for you or something? I'll get a big old line. Like I don't know how to get that line. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't.
It's kind of nuts. Like, um, I'm watching my youngest, well, both my boys buy comics, right? And like I don't think years ago you would have had this massive line for a colorist,
No,
but to them it's really really important.
like
Like it's important. Like the way the book is colored is important, and I think part of it is because they have this ability to do all that digitally now, right? Where coloring back then, I mean, uh, man, I'm old, so when I say back then, I'm talking about 30 plus years ago. Coloring was like almost a mystery to anybody,
oh
right?
yeah,
I didn't know people did color pencil comps. That seems so crazy to me, right? Someone just to show you what a book was going to look like would give you a color pencil comp, and then you would approve it, and then somehow they either digitized it or did it. I don't know. See, it's still a mystery to me, right? But now you have these tablets, you have all the software, and everything's being colored digitally, and it's kind of turned to the opposite. A lot of these younger kids almost don't care about the line work. That's secondary. They're like, oh, let's see how cool this is colored, and it's a thing, man. Like I see it happening.
I wonder if that's just because, like, I mean, if you look at a lot of these guys' pencils now, they're so sparse that the coloring does like so much of the heavy lifting. It's like everything's black and white when it's inked, but it's like there's no shape, there's no definition, there's no weight to most of these drawings. That's the colorist's job. And so now the colors are doing 50% of the artwork as opposed to like they would just like, lasso something, paint bucket it, and move on to the next one. So I think when you get like the good colorists like a Mike Spicer or someone like that, then maybe that's what makes the difference on a Ultimate Batman or a Daniel Warren Johnson book. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's all those things. I mean, there's like, look, I go to the comic shop now, and I'm actually looking for new art styles. I'm just out of curiosity. I don't want to atrophy. I don't want to be the guy who's talking about back in my day the art was better. Like, I can't be that guy. Anybody who starts a conversation like that with me, I'm like, especially when they're my age, I'm like, oh, I'm done talking to you, because I can guarantee you haven't bought a comic in like 25 years.
Yeah.
Like that, that conversation goes hand in hand with that irrelevance of not understanding where the comic world is right now, or the art world. So going to a comic shop, I pick up books all the time just to see how a younger artist is doing the colors on their book. Because sometimes it's one dude doing everything. So why would you spend all your time going in on these really heavy outlines and cross hatching and this monster contrast in black and white, when you just need the framework to hit it with your color work,
Oh yeah. Well,
right?
when
Like
it's
you're
one person doing it all, I think that's a whole different like thought process. Because like I think in terms of how the finished product's going to be, I don't just pencil it and hand it off to somebody else and hope for the best. So
right. But you could also just like get those teams, just like we used to have, or we have still, with like teams of pencils, inkers, and colorists, like Jim Lee, Williams, and Sinclair, right? They're gonna forever work together. Like that's Williams is always gonna be Jim Lee's inker. Sinclair is always gonna paint and color everything Jim Lee does. That's the industry standard. So if you get a good team together where someone's doing some solid line work and they're not going heavy on the contrast or not going heavy with the shading, because the colorist already understands what they're gonna get, then you've got a dream team there. They can put out a book on time. They communicate well together, and whether like an old head like me likes that book, it doesn't matter. Someone younger who appreciates that work is buying it. Like, and that's what you want. I'm gonna die soon enough eventually, and you want these kids buying their books now because you want the industry to continue that way.
yeah, yeah. What's something that you've picked up that you looked at and you were like, oh my god, how are they doing this? Like, because I pick up stuff every now and then, and I'm like, I don't even understand how this is possible. And then I spend as much time as I can deconstructing how somebody accomplished a look or a feel in their artwork. So,
Um,
is there something you've seen lately that you're like, oh man, like I need to figure this out?
oh, tons of shit. Even like on a more popular book like The Amazing Spider-Man, Pepe Larraz. Like first of all, like he's an amazing penciler and inker, but the way they're coloring that book, or some of the choices they're making, I know that it's a digital choice. Like we probably couldn't have pulled it off uh 20 years ago, 15 years ago, shit, 10 years ago maybe. But um they're taking risks coloring, like they're doing this cool chromatic aberration to for an effect, and they're blurring certain things, um which is really interesting because it makes it super cinematic. I'm trying to think of something I picked up recently. Oh, Ghost Pepper. I bought this book called Ghost Pepper, just because the cover alone struck me. and they're doing all these beautiful like. One of the things that impresses me most about people coloring books now or doing contemporary work now is that they're really using color to set a mood for a story, right? They're not just coloring it. Like Spider-Man isn't always Spider-Man red and blue throughout the entire book, right? They'll, if it's an evening scene, if it's meant to be warm, the whole color palette will change, right? It's less important what color the character is, and more important the mood, the lighting and the coloring setting for that part of the story, right? And it's impressive because you can flip through a book, you almost don't even need to read, just like, oh, it's, the sun's coming down. This is a quiet moment in the book because things have like it's the golden hour in the coloring style, and it slows you down. And then if we're cutting to a night scene, it's all these blues and aquas, and they're like it's just interesting visually what they're doing. But yeah, Ghost Pepper's a book put out by Image, um, and I just picked that up like this week just to flip through it, just because the art was interesting in it, or just even the flat colors done for Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah, I've seen those colors. Those are
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, right. They're really nice, and they're it's if you showed that to someone who was a comic fan and hasn't bought books in years, they'd look at it and go, "Oh, what is this childish coloring? They're just dropping colors in here and these primary." But it's really well designed.
Well, and it takes so much work to have that restraint to just
Mm-hmm.
have a flat color scheme. Like I've never been able to do it myself because my brain just goes more.
Yeah. No, you're right. The restraint it takes, and not even just the restraint, the confidence it takes to say, "Look at this. This is a finished, beautiful piece of art."
Yeah.
You're like, "Whoa!" Like that's a risk. That's a risk. I love. She's not super new. Clearly, she's not new. Jolie Jones and whoever colors her and her work, because she did Wonder Woman for a long time. But she put out her own graphic novel called Lady Killer. Man, that book is so much fun. It's this housewife who's a secret assassin on the side, and it's set in the 50s. And it's not telling you, and it's not like romantic about the 50s. It is like this brutal, ugly truth. It's sort of like if Mad Men was made into a comic book about, it's sort of done in that style, in that era, right? Um, uh, Her line work is a little different than what she does for DC, but you can really see how they leaned into the coloring, and they're doing a lot of that restraint you said, of like mostly done in flats, maybe one more tone to give you a shadow, and if it's night it's reverse, you're doing the flats and you're giving one more brighter tone to give you highlights, like, and if they do anything else it's so well hidden that you don't notice it. But that book is beautiful to flip through, and yeah, the restraint and the control that they're doing for those books is just, I think, is like awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now I have more stuff to buy. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I honestly I haven't been to a comic book store in when the last issue of Saga came out. I got that from
uh
my daughter, and then before that was probably 2017. Like I just never
Man,
buy comics anymore unless it's a trade. Like I've
well,
that's all
but
I
that's the
get.
thing, by the trade, like right now. Shoot, ultra, have you heard of Ultra Mega?
Yeah, yeah, I have the first trade.
Oh man, that book to me is gold. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so violent. It's so dynamic. Like the thing screams energy. And the trade for the second arc is out now already too. So that's worth. You don't have to go to the comic shop to buy the monthlies. Uh, but man, when that trade comes out, it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I have the first one. I feel like James Heron did something else. like his other book that I really really like too.
Oh, I
Um,
gotta go back and find it.
God, he wasn't Orkstein, was he? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I found him until Ultra Mega.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was some book that he did before, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And so like every time he has something, I pick it up, and then I remember we were in Pittsburgh at the Eddie P Con, and like I think he had done like a Godzilla book, and they
Oh,
made a pinball machine of his art, and I was just like, that's crazy. And people were like, what is it? And I was like, that's a comic book artist's art on the pinball
yeah.
machine. Like that's nuts.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, these
Yeah. You're like, it's out in the wild. It's around real people.
yeah, people are
Look
seeing
at,
this and they don't even know what it is.
yeah. Geeks rule.
Yeah, then you try and explain to somebody and they're like, I don't give a shit. Like I just wanted to get my coffee and get out of here.
Right, right.
Yeah, they had a it was like a death metal coffee pinball bar in Pittsburgh. It was insane. It was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And they had like
Oh shit.
a Godzilla pinball machine and somebody else, and then they had like all this like death metal shit everywhere. And I was like, they don't build anything like this in Sac. I don't know why.
I don't. I
No,
think
I
it's
think
just
everything
down.
that they've tried, like there was the coffee and comics bar downtown. I think that thing died.
Oh yeah. Oh, I went to that. I know why it died. I
What?
know, like it. It was a really fun idea.
Yeah,
I went there enthusiastic, like, dude, that I am your ideal client.
yeah.
Like, I work from home. I drink coffee nonstop. Freaking, I love coffee houses, and I'm a comic dork and artist in the industry. I'm like, I am your perfect customer. And I showed up there, and it was kind of the most sterile thing I've ever been to.
In terms of like looks or vibes or
Both,
oh,
both. It was like a coffee shop that did coffee okay and had interesting names to their coffees that were comic related. And you're like, okay, cool. And then like, here's a coffee. And by the way, there's all these books over there, all these comics, and there's like it was like comic book decor,
huh,
and that's what it felt like.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it's like the people that are just not in it for the right reasons. They're like, we have an idea. We saw this on Big Bang Theory or some shit.
right, right. There wasn't anyone there particularly passionate about comics
Or coffee, so it was
or
just
coffee.
awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
And in an era where we're used to going to some, like if I'm going to Midtown or I'm going to downtown, it's like I'm probably going to a place where someone cares about some craft that they're doing, right? It's everywhere,
oh
right? I
yeah,
go to a craft beer house, a pour house, and someone, even if they didn't make the beer there, they're telling you where they got it from and why they love it, and maybe the way they make it because, or the story behind that, those those brewers or whatnot. And there was none of that at this coffee comic place. Like,
that's yeah, that's so weird because downtown is full of like artisan small shops of everything. Because
mm-hmm.
I just got my wife's wedding ring, with a new put a new stone in it and everything, and took it to Little Relics downtown, and the ladies there were awesome. Like my daughters
Yeah,
picked everything out, and they're just like, yeah, this is why you do this and this and this, and everybody wants to explain everything, and I just nod my head because I have no idea what most of them are talking about, and I'm like,
right.
yeah, that sounds great.
But you can see that they care.
Yeah, it's like you appreciate the passion, like
Right.
even if you don't understand what it is.
Right, right. Dude, I think that's how I sell the majority of my work at conventions. Like every piece someone comes up and looks at and likes, I have a story behind it. And if they want to hear it, I'm giving it away. And if they don't, they just like the piece, they'll just pick it up. But ultimately, they can see that I care about like the art I have and art in general. Um, so like I like going to places like that, and unfortunately, that coffee shop didn't have any of that. Um, yeah. On the other hand, just down the street there was another bookstore. Oh my god, I wish I remember the name of the bookstore. But downstairs they had a whole section of like kind of fun comic related stuff. They had comics and graphic novels and stuff they were selling like monthly books too. and they had action figures and D&D stuff. That place felt more genuine to me than the coffee and comic place a block and a half away.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I did go into one that's on like Fair Oaks, and there's the guy who I don't know if he owned the place or he was the manager, and he was sitting there chastising the other two people that were working there about how we need more people in here and da 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 da. We're not getting the sales that we need. I've never been in this place. None of them acknowledged that I was there, and I was
Ah,
like,
brilliant.
"Good job. This is what you're
Yeah.
telling these guys to do." None of you acknowledged that I was there. I wandered around your store for 5 minutes. Nobody said what's up, and I left, and I was like, "I'm never gonna go back there." I can't. It was like comics and collectibles on Fair Oaks. I was like, meh, it's too far away now.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, Zach's had quite a few comic book stores open recently. There's the one in Pocket that I seen you've gone to for signings.
Oh, JLA Comics.
Mhm.
They're great. They're gonna survive.
Yeah,
You talk about three people that care about books and care about their customers. Like that comic shop is building community.
yeah. And I mean, there's
The
nothing. There's nothing in South Sac. There's nothing in Elk Grove. So I mean, if you can build that community, like especially if it's comics related, and you don't have certain stores that just have some books and they're just like thrown about, and because all they want to do is play the Magic the Gathering with their friends instead of
right,
worry
yeah,
about comic books, and you're like, I don't know why you call
yeah.
yourself.
No, I love JLA Comics. They I met them at a con. I met them at Stockton Con before I knew they had a comic shop, and like 3 seconds into talking to them, I could tell that they cared about just art and comics in general. And then they told me they had a comic shop, and I instantly wanted them to succeed. I was like, well, "You guys sound like someone who we need in this industry." Um, versus the old shops that almost like try to keep certain people out, like try to keep this old geek culture from 30, 40 years ago alive.
I mean,
And like,
yeah,
why?
the shops with that, like, because you're from the Bay, right? Like you're from that
I'm
area.
from I I lived in the Bay for like 20 years. I lived in SF for like 20 years, but I'm from further south. I'm from the Santa Cruz area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we used to have there used to be like a bunch of like the real old like comic stores where they smelled like cat piss and old books. And
Yeah, it
like
smelled like old wood,
yeah,
dusty.
you pick up a book and then they like you bring it up to the front and they're like, "Hold on, let me get the price on that." And I'm like, it says the
It's
price
on the
on
book.
the little sticker. Like, what are you talking?" He goes, it went up in value." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to get it then. Like, I just got this on a yeah, all those stores are gone, which is
Yeah.
pretty much a good thing."
Well, they needed to be. They're no longer. They're not sustainable. No one buys stuff like that. No one. It's unwelcoming.
Yeah, the problem with a lot of comic book stores is like from the outside, if I saw it like and I didn't like comics, I'd be like, I'm not going in there. That is
Yeah.
definitely where murders take place. Like, like I don't want to
Yeah.
go in there at all. But
You can you can see it at cons. So I spend most of my time at San Diego Comic Con in my booth. I'm one of the guys that kind of never leaves his booth. It's just the anxiety in me of losing a sale,
oh yeah,
it like really comes through, and it's paid off. There are moments where like the last when I'm seeing people wrap up, like I'm until that bell rings, my booth is open, and I've had the last 15 minutes of my day make my entire day multiple times, right? But I stay at my booth a lot, and over the last few years, I've ventured out to get my kids some gifts, or like I try not to I try not to shop until Sunday,
yeah,
but occasionally I'll get out on a Friday, or you get there early. Um, but I've walked around the con, and you can see people whose booths are dated, and they're the exact description you just gave, where like there's these old wooden shelves, and like even the person sitting at the booth looks dusty. Like, dude, like
I did
man, like
definitely.
you're gonna die like sitting here. There's no energy to your booth, and there's no effort put into it, and it's dead. It's like a doldrums, right? Like the doldrums, there you can see people walk around it, try to avoid this dead space,
It's
and
like
that
almost
person
like
isn't
they
doing
went to a
anything.
con and they just had like a sketchbook and some flyers.
No, even worse than that. At least I was enthusiastic. I was like a big dumb dog. I was like a big dumb dog at that con. I was like wagging my tail at everybody, trying to get them to throw a ball. I was like ready
Yeah. Well,
to
I mean,
play.
I talked to you, so I mean, some must have worked.
It worked. It worked. See, yeah. No, these guys are just like you can tell they're sort of from that era that's dying off slowly. But you can just like their booth is dusty. And I don't want to. I don't want to disparage like because it's an older thing, it's bad. It's the lack of effort put into it,
That's
right?
yeah.
That's what you're seeing. That's that like you give off if you're giving off that energy, if you're giving off that like I don't care if you approach my booth, then no one's gonna approach your booth. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I'm finding that out.
All right.
One con at a time. I'm learning that I gotta be friendly. I'm gonna take charisma lessons on YouTube.
Well, you paid for the space. You're like, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I just have the curse of being too self-deprecating to make a sale. I'm like, yeah, you don't want that. It's not that good. Don't worry about it. But I don't know what it is. I didn't get enough love as a kid. Who knows?
Right,
Um,
right. But now you'll get it at the con. That's what those people are there for. They're there to substitute the parents that never gave us any love. That's what the other side of the table is for.
well, so far I'm not getting any love there. I'm picking up the wrong lessons. Um,
Will you put this on the fridge? Look, I just drew it.
I'll draw something for you. Just tell me you love me and I'm a good boy.
Yeah. It's
Oh
it's
man,
it's it's therapy for all of us.
man. It's so you do a lot of cons. So are there like other than being open and approachable, what else do you think works that you've used at different conventions
Uh
or things
Shoot,
that didn't?
things that didn't. Every let me see what worked and what didn't work. I think that's my game. I talk to everybody, even if you're not gonna buy anything from me, and I like to keep you moving. Like I joke with people. I'm like I'm the no pressure sales guy. Like if especially if someone I caught someone, I always ask them like have they had a chance to look at the whole con, and a lot of times I get the answer, or people go like, oh, we just got here. I go, great. I said, you should not stop here. You should keep moving and see what else you see. I said, there's so much to see. I'm not going anywhere. Feel free to come back. So I'll move people along. So, because I know we've all gotten stuck at booths where like the person inside won't stop talking to you and you don't know how to exit.
I just walk away.
Yeah. See, but
Mid
I want
sentence,
to
I don't
avoid that
care.
because I know if you just walk away, you'll never come back. I'd love giving you the exit. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to hold you guys back. Go check it out. And a lot of times people say, no, we love what we're seeing here. We'll stay. I'm like, great. Now I get to give you like the full spiel. But in between that, like there's so much, and it's not a lie. There's so much great stuff to see out there.
oh man, you
It's
like
overwhelming.
you should see heroes. Heroes like how when we go to these like we go to these smaller cons and like I'll look around and be like, good artist, good artist, good artist. There's four of us here, and like you're like, there's four good artists. The rest of them are like, they're either just starting or they're never going anywhere. But there's four good ones at 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 Heroes Con. I fucking shit you not. I was like, it's all good artists. It's
Yeah.
everybody. It's the top student from every school is in this building, and I don't know what you do to stand out because everybody was fucking amazing. And then like I would turn around and like one friend would introduce me to somebody he's sitting next to, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then I turn around and this is amazing, and I'm like, and it's all
That's
different.
awesome.
And I've never seen like one place that's so full of like the top of the class everywhere.
That's
So
that's what that's what Orlando Americon felt like for me. Like that description you have, like everywhere you turn, it was like everyone's just amazing down this row, and then you go down the next row, you're like everyone's amazing down this row too.
Yeah.
And then they put all the names along the wall, all the guys who've been doing books or have had a name for years, and you walk down that wall, and it's just like it's hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, and you're like, man, who's gonna buy my stuff?
Yeah, I think that was like the thing at Heroes too. Is like there's so many great people. It's like if you come up with $100, how do you spread that out amongst all the talent that's there? Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, then you're just like, I like Transformers, so I'm just gonna buy something Transformers, and it doesn't matter who it is because everybody's here. So
Fair.
yeah,
Fair. I think one thing I do that helps me stand out at cons is um, I try not to I try to compose the pieces I make to fit in a frame,
yeah,
and I say that like I don't do a heavy background on myself. My focus is the character. It's like if you got a good sketch, a good figure drawing sketch, and it's a bit minimalist, right? And people will look at a nice figure drawing sketch and be like, "Oh, you could put that in a frame." And it might be just like some woman's back or a person resting and their torso is turning, but it looks great in a frame. You put that in a frame, it just instantly elevates it. A lot of my compositions for my prints are centered, and I give you this natural space outside of it, this negative space. At the moment you put a frame around it, it feels like it's a real piece. It feels like it's not a reproduction. It feels like an original. And I get a lot of people who stop and go, "Oh, your stuff doesn't look like anybody else's." So I'm like, "Great." So that's worked out for me. I print on different paper too. Um, I my stuff doesn't work as well with the high contrast of white paper against the style of art I'm using.
hmm
So a warmer tone paper also makes helps people. It just sells the illusion better. Like I've had people come up to my booth and get down and pick up the pieces, the display pieces I have, and ask me if they're originals or reproductions. And I'm like, that's awesome. The fact that you're like really scrutinizing it and you're still asking me if it's an original,
and then you tell them
like
it's an
it's
original, and
absolutely
you're like
flattering.
$500,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you bring out the same original.
One of a kind, everybody, one of a kind. um, so I think that's helped me a lot. I regularly get photos from people that have bought some of my pieces, and they're like, "Look, I framed it, and it's up on a wall." I'm like, "That looks fantastic," and it looks like it should live in that frame. Um, so I think that's helped me a lot. I think my biggest failures at cons have been every time I think I know what's gonna sell. Every time I think I'm like, "This is gonna be a banger. I'm gonna put this out. It's gonna sell like hotcakes." I can guarantee it flops.
Oh, 100%.
It's Yeah. I've never been successful with that. I'm not more clever or anywhere near smarter than the crowd that's out there buying. And if it's a money grab, I must come through on the piece because it just never worked out.
Yeah, I haven't figured out what anybody wants at any convention because it's always different, and it's always something new and surprising. Like it it's crazy. Like I have found though that the bigger prints don't sell as well, and if I have smaller stuff, like people buy the smaller prints most of the time because they say I'm out of space. I can fit this, but I can't fit this. Fit a small
Right.
one. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've
That's a
sold a
great
lot
problem for
more
them to
smaller
have.
ones. Huh?
Like that's a great problem for people to have. I'm like, oh, you have so much art on your wall, you don't have space for it. I always tell people that it's fantastic. What a great problem to have. You've been out collecting so much art. That's awesome. So my advice to people is always like, buy yourself a portfolio. Go get an artist portfolio, 11 by 17, and start putting all your prints in there. And you're instantly making yourself a coffee table book. And it's going to be protected. You can see your art. It's not put away and you forget about it for like 2 years, 3 years. And then you're like, look at this beautiful thing I bought. I haven't seen it for, 3 or 4 years or whatever. You know,
Well, that's exactly why you need to make your own coffee table book and sell people it.
well,
Then you can be like, I know you can buy one, but why buy one when you can buy them all for This is hardcover.
Right. It's a deal. It's my artist edition.
It's all originals, bound for you. Oh
Only
God,
$10,000 for one issue. For
how how ridiculous would it be if we just did our own artist editions? If that started being a thing? Oh God, just a bunch of
yeah.
mediocre art that I did 20 years ago. Be like, yeah, this is a comic I've made about jizz coming to life.
And nobody bought it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've
Only two
decided to make
people.
it an artist edition.
Oh man. All right. Well, is there what's the next convention you're doing?
I am doing Stockton Con Summer
Oh, isn't that
in
coming up?
next week. Yeah,
Is
this
it?
coming weekend. It's a week away from
Oh
this
God.
recording.
I remember they handed me out the papers and I was like, y'all get to this. I got some other stuff going on. I never filled out either one of them. I was like, oh, whatever. But
Yeah. And then I'm doing San Diego Comic Con at the end of July. And then I've got Cape and Cow at the end of August.
nice. I'm on the list for Cape and Cow. I don't know how it's gonna go, but
Man, I hope you get in.
I've seen like nothing but great things about it. And I was talking to Matt. I think you guys sent him over to my
Oh, Matt
table.
Ritchie?
Yeah, at Stockton Con, and
Love that guy.
he was telling me about it. I was like, yeah. On Sunday, I talked to him for like 2 hours. I was like, this is the
Yeah.
best part of the
He's
con.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, super interesting dude. We'll get him on here one day, hopefully.
Oh, you should. You should. He's so talented and so humble.
I know. I think he's like, yeah, I just do these keys and grails things to just like warm up for the day. And I'm like, that'd be all I did all week. Like,
Right, yeah. No, that guy is like a real artist.
I know, not like
Yeah,
us.
so I stand next to him and I'm like, I instantly have imposter syndrome in the best way. And then he's super nice to me and I'm like, yeah, I'm great.
Yeah, I'm like him.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah, you're like,
welcome at my booth anytime. Yeah, he can do no wrong in my eyes.
yeah. I mean, and then there's other people that we know that fucking suck, and I hate them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Found out
Those
about that
shall not
one.
be named.
Yeah, we touched that one with a soft white glove.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here before we get in trouble.
Fair.
All right,
Fair.
where can people check out your stuff online?
I'm at Manuel Martinez Art. That's .com or at. The at gets you to my Instagram. The .com gets you to my website.
All right, and your
and,
name's on the screen.
Cons up and down the West Coast.
Yeah, we gotta get you out to the East Coast. You had to do Heroes Con with us. It was a blast.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. I'll have to sign up for it then.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, this is the Dead Effort Show, and this is all we give you. Goodbye.
Peace.